Hello and welcome to with me, Winner Android, to another video of Weekly Entry, which, yeah, basically everything else for this season has ended at this point, except for Mal 2099, but, yeah. Guess I'm going to go through everything that has ended for this week. Starting off with Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online Season 2. So, yeah, another season of GGO, in which this season basically just covers another squad jam pretty much for like the first 2/3 of the season pretty much there. And yeah, the squad jam itself was honestly kinda stupid, considering the rules in it would never be tolerated in real life, any kind of real game tournament or anything like that. So yeah, you had a decent bit of dumb stuff going on there. Then you got the last third of the season pretty much, which is just a short little arc where you got everyone kind of testing a new AI. But yeah, just a little short arc at the end there, not exactly special, but it had a little twist to it at the end. But yeah, overall I would say the season was good, but it definitely could have been better without question. That is for sure. Because it genuinely was just stupid at times. But yeah, moving on to the next thing here, which is Ranma 1/2. In which, yeah. I watched the original Ranma like 2.5 years ago at this point, and honestly, from what I can tell with this remake, it for the most part is just faster paced. Considering in like the 12 episodes we got here, it covers like 20 episodes worth of content in the original, which I think is mostly just down to the fact that the original was dragged out a lot. It's like Kuroga's introduction was basically spread out over several episodes in the original, while in this one it's a single episode. But yeah, this season basically just got to the introduction of Shampoo and the point where she also learns where the male and female Ranma are the same person. But yeah, overall I would say this remake was just as good as the original personally, just with a more modern art style and everything and all that, though it does have a bit of censorship, but I don't personally really care about that. Considering I prefer this kind of censorship over the alternatives we could have. But yeah, of course, second season already been announced. Probably going to get fully adapted, I imagine, to be honest. But yeah, moving on to the next thing, which is You Are Miss Servant. In which, yeah, for the most part, this was just basically a wholesome romance anime, to be honest. With an assassin turned maid, yeah. But honestly, I don't really think there was really anything special with it, to be honest. So, yeah. The only other thing I really actually have to mention for this anime, to be honest, is just the fact that Hitayoshi's kind of just a bit of a dumbass, especially towards the end of the season. And also, there was just the fact that also the end of the season for the anime there was honestly kind of weird, especially considering the fact that we did not get a second season announcement immediately. Considering the way it ended, it really feels like it should have a second season coming. But there was no announcement for one, so yeah. It's interesting, story at the very least, kind of, but yeah, still not exactly anything special I really feel like. But moving on to the next thing here, which is as a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to raise in the world season 2. Is there a short version of that name? Honestly, don't really fucking know. But, yeah. This season starts off the war and everything, in which, honestly, I think the war is still going. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. I think they've only finished the first part of the war so far. But overall, it basically was just a few battles throughout the season pretty much, and that was it. Half the stuff in it was honestly stupid as well. But yeah, season there ended with ours getting a promotion, and also wedding right when he fucking returns to Lamberg. But yeah, third season for this has also been announced, so yeah, I guess I'm going to be watching that. Eh. Next thing, let this grieving soul retire. Honestly, I'm just gonna be honest, it's probably the one anime I was closest to dropping this season, just saying. But, yeah, Cry, very weak, but also very lucky and has a very good affinity with relics and stuff. And yeah, of course everything just works out perfectly for him somehow. And he unknowingly basically predicts the future and all of that, which leads everyone to think he is super strong and everything, just like the rest of the Grievers. But yeah, we didn't even really get to even see half the members of the Grieving Souls and everything in this season, which honestly kind of surprised me, especially considering how generic this anime was, to be honest. Though it's also not really all that generic, but it is. But whatever, I guess. Overall, I think the best thing about the anime personally was just Tino, considering she is basically the anime's punching bag for jokes and also the fan service, so whatever, I guess. And also, apparently, somehow this managed to get a second season, so yeah, that's a thing. So moving on to the next thing here, which is Spirits Chronicles Season 2. So yeah, honestly, I do not really think this season was as good as the first season. And I honestly think that is mostly just due to the fact that this season kind of, at the very least, seems like it's just one long, very slow-paced arc, in which I'm honestly not even sure if this arc is actually really technically over yet, or it's going to be continued into a third season if we actually get one. But yeah, this arc basically is just the heroes have been summoned by these kingdoms and everything. Miharu, Haruto's childhood friend, along with some others, also end up getting mixed up into the summoning and stuff, and get, as you saw, the end of the first season there. But yeah, this season was basically just Ryo, Haruto, trying to find where their friends were, the heroes and all that. And yeah, for whatever reason, Ryo also just refuses to actually let Miharu actually know who he is, though at the very least, going by the teaser at the end of the season, she will learn in the next season if we actually get one, considering, once again, we haven't actually gotten his third announcement for a third season yet, sadly. But yeah, it wasn't good as first season, that's all I'll really say there. I do kind of hope it does get a third season still. But yeah, moving on to the next thing, which is Love Live Superstar Season 3. Now, it's the first half of the season was mostly focused on the whole rivalry that was kind of going on purely because of Margaret and Tomari. So, but yeah. After that was over, of course, and Liela ended up being up to 11 members at that point, and then it's basically just completely sped ran the whole love life thing in basically like 3-4 episodes pretty much. Seriously. Ended up just speedrunning that completely. And of course they didn't really have any actual competition, considering they didn't really have time to bring any into the damn thing. So of course they end up winning for a second time there and being the first to actually win twice. But yeah. Honestly, probably one of the best endings we've actually really gotten for one of these love life anime. And I think that's basically just due to the fact that we actually get to kind of see what happens afterwards with the final episode there. Because we actually do get to see what all the third years actually are going to be doing in the future and everything. And also there's just the fact that Liela actually still exists. Though it's just with 6 members, which is also just due to the fact that Margaret decided to actually stay. But yeah, honestly, probably just one of the most realistic endings we've actually had for Love Life anime so far. Which is probably the reason why I think it's probably one of the best ones we've gotten. But also, another way that's also gotten a bit more realistic is the fact that men actually exist within the world of Love Life now. You don't get to see very many of them, but they do exist now. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for Love Life Superstar there. So moving on to the next thing, which is I'll become a villainess who goes down in history, which was one of the better villainess anime, I think, personally, with Alicia actually wanting to be a villainess and everything, though she isn't exactly very good at being one, though she does slowly kind of become better actually acting like a villainess further into the story you get and everything. But of course it is all still just an act, because she is basically just a good person at the end of the day still, just acting like a villainess and all that. But yeah, this season basically just had like 2 arcs, pretty much. The first one of course being Alicia's childhood, with a few time jumps throughout it to get to the main bit of the story, I guess, where he gets the arc with Liz as the antagonist basically and all that. And honestly, the ending of this season actually kind of surprised me a bit, to be honest, considering, yeah, everything with that final episode there was pretty much setting up the next arc of the story for a second season and everything, though we didn't actually get a second season announcement, sadly. But, yeah, Alicia actually ends up getting exiled from the kingdom and all that. But, yeah, honestly, personally think this one of the few villainous anime that kind of actually deserves another season at the very least, to be honest. But yeah, next thing here is the do-over Damsel conquers a dragon emperor, in which I'd say is a simple rom-com that is mostly focused on the comedy. Which is honestly probably for the best, considering the fact that Jill is only like 10, 11 years old after getting sent back in time and everything. And also the romance side of things there is mostly basically just turned into comedy, with other characters actually just pointing out how weird their relationship is and all that. In which Hades is also just basically turned into a complete joke, basically. But yeah, overall the story is kind of decent, but it's nothing special, that is for sure. Definitely could have been better and all that, but that's all I really gotta say there. So moving on to the final anime I got for this week, which is Sengoku Youko Season 2, in which, yeah, this is the end of the story here, in which I think the second part here with a second season and all that is better than the first season. And yeah, Senya is now ends up being the main character for the second season instead of Shinsuke in the first. So yeah, all round, the character development I think personally was just very good throughout this. And yeah, I don't really know what else to really talk about here, so I'm just going straight to the ending here and my thoughts with that, I guess. But yeah, it's a good but slightly bittersweet ending for a good story. And the only real reason why it's even really a bittersweet ending at all is purely because the fact that like half the fucking characters are still human, while the rest of them are Youko still. So yeah, it's going to be bittersweet no matter what. And then we also had Senyu right there at the end, breaking the fourth wall, talking straight to us. But yeah, honestly, personally just think this anime definitely deserves to be more popular than what it is, to be honest. That's all I really gotta say there. So yeah, that's me done with anime for this week here. So yeah, I don't exactly have all that much anime to actually talk about for next week. Mostly because nothing really ever airs on the week of New Year's and all that. So yeah, at the very least I do have some stuff for the weekend, which includes Sasakoi finally fucking ending after half a year. God. But yeah, that's that stuff there done. Mention Azur Lane once again, considering, yeah. With this event currently, I have not yet gotten Dunisberg, but I have gotten Rumi twice already. And I haven't even done 100 bulls yet. Seriously, I've only done like 87 bulls currency, I think, right now. So yeah, I've already gotten her twice, for fuck's sakes. Meanwhile, I haven't actually gotten the super rare yet. One that I personally think looks the best out of all the characters added in this event. But yeah, Also, apparently, Noshiro getting added to the private quarters and all that, the 3D dorm. Going to have to update BlueStacks, I think, and hope that it fixes the whole black screen shit again. Because I did manage to get that fixed previously, but ended up breaking it again for some reason. After Windows updated, I think. So, yeah, going to have to try and fix that once again so I can actually see the whole 3D dorm for Noshiro again and all that. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for this week, I think. I'll probably mention more stuff next week for sure. Like, how my channel is basically done this month, I guess. Because honestly, personally, it just hasn't really been doing that well compared to what I was expecting, to be honest. No idea why. Maybe it's just the fact that the series I done weren't exactly countries people were interested in, I'm not exactly sure, but yeah. Next week I'm also going to be definitely showing off all the anime I'm going to be watching for the next season without question. So yeah, that's there is where I'm going to end things at for this week here. So yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed this video, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.